Why the data-driven founder wins. Data, the new gold. How were organizations such as Microsoft and Apple able to reach such levels of growth under the conditions they first came up with? It was the 70s, long before popular search engines, artificial intelligence, and even the internet as we know it today had been invented. Information on any topic could only have been read or passed down from one person to another, deeming that medium extremely inefficient, at least by today's standards. Founders then had little data to work with if any, and most products built then were extremely disruptive. The reward-to-risk ratio couldn't be more imbalanced. Every time I make a comparison between those and current times I'm always taken aback. Even though we founders now have a lot of information at our disposal, we find ourselves still using antiquated processes for startup management. We now live in an extremely hyper-connected world, where petabytes of data are generated each second, an underrated privilege we so happen to have. As we speak, you have probably 2 or 3 social media apps running on your smartphone, fitted with machine learning capabilities trying to learn as much from your behavior with it to provide a more predictable experience. Others might be busy mining data from texts and media you send, with the sole intent to sell it to advertising agencies or other products for targeted advertisement. Why? In an information age such as this, it's monumental for any organization to leverage consumer data for its effectiveness and competitive advantage. You might have seen a recent surge in Web3 startups that don't fall short of industry jargon such as machine learning, artificial intelligence, natural language processing, and big data. These startups exist for the intrinsic purpose of making sense of data by structuring, cleaning, and using it to help organizations make data-driven decisions. As the title of this article suggests, founders who understand that this is not just a fad but a trend that is here to stay, prepare for this and undoubtedly gain market success. So how do they prepare accordingly for this data-driven era? Precisely the subject matter of what follows. C. Consumer data is segmented and widely unstructured. As opposed to neat spreadsheets you are used to working with, consumer data exists in all shapes and quantities and can be accessed from any level of product engagement. It's up to you to establish ways not only to capture it but make use of it. Unfortunately, while most founders typically do not have a problem accessing this data, what keeps them from realizing its value is their lack of its understanding. The data-driven founder knows that all data is not good data, and data is not a destination but a vehicle to get the desired outcome. Data collected should align with a goal that has measurable KPIs. Say you have a photography studio and you want to increase the number of photo shoots you make a day, this is an ideal goal. You can create KPIs around it, such as increasing referrals by X% this month, this is a measurable KPI. Well, there is a lot of data that can be actualized from consumer behavior towards this goal. The best metric to track could probably be the number of customers who get referred by previous customers and what kind of photo shoot they typically come for. This would then help you track what service your customers care enough to refer a friend to and double down on it, thus creating a multiplier effect on your referrals KPI and the revenue. While the latter might not be an ideal use case scenario for data-driven thinking, it's important to note that as opposed to collecting data about the number of users who collectively came this month, which does not align with the aforementioned goal, the data collected necessitates growth towards a more successful business. Data also needs to be actionable, in that it can be used to change the course of a business towards the desired state. While having metrics about how many users registered this month might be essential to see overall consumer base growth, this data is not actionable as you do not know what exactly caused its growth or lack thereof. Startups are a beehive of activities. We constantly tune our business model, product design preference, and customer success strategies, so having a collective as a metric doesn't help. The data-driven founder understands this and aims to segregate consumer growth into cohorts based on attributes such as registration dates, age, or purchase history, and track them independently of each other. This renders this metric actionable, since if a checkout feature has changed, you might see a surge or drop in consumer segments and act accordingly. A term for this is cohort analysis. Away from quality data, this article would not be complete without mentioning that data-driven decisions are far from possible without an array of data sources. Any source of meaningful data should be exploited to help an organization harness its competitive advantage. Think of it this way: any meaningful data untapped, disregarding how minute it might be, is revenue lost. Data is the new gold. Would you cede your opportunity to acquire it if you knew it was just sitting pretty somewhere waiting for you? Probably not. Aim to have as many data points as necessary to complement your data-driven decision-making process. Data-driven actions should be the sole premise of any organization's management. Lack of it renders an organization helpless and subject to mercy from its consumers. Data can be found anywhere, and unlike gold, is generated with minimal or low-cost efforts. Put yourself at the forefront of the curve in any market segment by leveraging its use and see your startup achieve stratospheric heights of success.